what you want me to be. Feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me, put under the pressure of walking in your shoes.
Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow.
Every step that I take is another mistake to you.
Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow.
I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. I've become so Can't you see that you're smothering me, holding too tightly, afraid to lose control? 'Cause everything that you thought I would be has fallen apart right in front of you.
Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow.
Every step that I take is another mistake to you.
Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow.
And every second I waste is more than I can take. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. I've become so I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Tired of being what you want me to be. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Tired of being what you want me to be.
It's been a few ticks since we did one of these, eh? That's because there's been a lot of shit going on. A lot of shit to sort through. COVID, was it a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Really fucked my shit up. Really fucked my shit up. Definitely emptied my bank account. But the silver lining is, fixed a lot of shit. Realized a lot of shit. You know, some of it I've touched on. Some of it I haven't. I definitely haven't shared any conclusions, which I'm gonna attempt to. And this doesn't have to be a bipolar thing. I think this is fucking everybody. At the end of the day, bipolar disorder is basically an emotional disorder, right? In simplest terms. It's the inability to control your emotions, whether it's through an elevated state or depressive state. And all its facets. At the end of the day, your emotions get the best of you. As some of you know, it was harder for me because I had to balance that out between two different personalities, right? The man I was and the man I'm trying to be. the manic version and non-manic versions, right? So it's twice as hard, twice the work, twice the pain in the ass. So we worked real hard on controlling our emotions without the danger of becoming emotionally dead through medication or just cutting everybody off, which we went through both of those things. We did the medication thing, and that just turned us into an emotionless zombie and forced us in a world that we couldn't understand. Luckily, the first time I went on medication, I had support there, so I didn't fucking off myself. Second time I tried medication, the out west journey, we were on the Tuda, well, that is what it is. And the other thing is cutting everybody off, right? Cutting everybody off so you have no emotional attachment to anybody, right? And maybe some people could do that. I cannot. One thing I really realized is I'm a man of passion. I need a passion. I need affection in my life. That is a strong need of mine. So I've been very, very successful at managing my emotions. From a manic standpoint, I can control whether I'm a manic. I control whether I'm angry, pissed off, depressed. I manage it very well without self-destructing in any manner. But the one thing I clearly have learned is the one emotion that I cannot control. I have zero control over, and I think this applies to everybody, is love. Love. We are absolutely powerless against that. And what I went through COVID, what I had dug in the basement, and all the shit that came piling to the surface was all based around love. Thank God at this time I had a good definition in my mind what love meant to me, right? There was a time where I didn't know what love meant. Well, I did, but it was very one-dimensional, and I thought love meant the same thing to everybody. So I had to relearn what love meant. So thank God when I went through what I went through just recently, I actually knew what love meant, right? But it definitely opened some doors. I definitely had the ability to kind of look back at the last, 20 years or so, with a different perspective, a little more memory, and there was a lot of shit that came up, a lot of good feelings, a lot of bad feelings, there was definitely a lot of guilt. Damn, there was a lot of guilt. But there also was a lot of hope. Truly knowing what I need, as far as love goes. And where I used to lie to myself about what my needs are, but there was a lot of fucking guilt, And I had a lot of questions I wanted answers to regarding my past, but unfortunately, I didn't get those answers, and I doubt if anyone will give me those answers. So that left me in a pretty pickle. Like, what do? You're just left with all this emotion and no way to sort through it. So the first thing I had to say to myself, well, how much of this is your fault? Sure, you're accountable because it's your body, your mind. You have to be accountable for your actions. But how much of those actual actions is your fault? So I had to really sort through a lot of that stuff. And that was very difficult to do. Because you're conscious of your actions, but you have no power to stop them. And I asked myself, why couldn't I? Like, I'm conscious of it. I get manic, hypermanic now, and I'm conscious of it. But if I get in the car, it doesn't mean I go 160 kilometers an hour. I can control it. So I had to think back, well, what were the reasons I've lost control? And it was always based around love. Love of the business, love of my wife. It was always love. That was something that I just could not control in a manic state. It was just, or I should say, it took on an elevated level. If the person I was with and I was happy with, non-manic wise, I was completely content in love and totally happy and calm. Well, the manic version of in love, it has to be tenfold. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be love to the power of 100. And whatever that rationalization is to me at the time, she had to be like this, or she had to do that, or, because I had such a love of my career, it had to be this way, it had to be that way, because it's the best thing to do. So it's, holy shit. I have this board up here, just covering this window, because sometimes I work out and I leave it on the floor. I don't want to scratch my hardwood floors, and I haven't pulled it out in a while, and just a little bit of cobwebs happening there, so we'll get that cleaned up after this. Yeah, so needless to say, as much as there's a lot of answers I didn't get about my past, I kind of just had to hypothesize, but I had to do it in a way so I didn't look back at it negatively. I had to tell myself, well, okay, what does it matter? What does it matter? Because I know a lot of people say, well, our past makes us, right? If you didn't go through what you're going through, you wouldn't be where you're at today. Sure, if you're the same person. It's a little trickier because I was always manic. I was always this manic person. There's always this manic personality. I wasn't this non-manic version right now. You see before you today. So my past doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. To me, it's just a different fucking reality. It's like a dream, right? You have a dream when you're sleeping. You don't think that was real, and you wake up and think it was real. It was imaginary. But I know what happened to past is real, but it's not. It's still a different perception. So why am I feeling so guilty, and why am I feeling so? It doesn't apply to me now. And that's what I have to tell myself. Whatever I felt in that state, whatever I needed in that state, I can't carry it with me into this reality now. I can't do it. And that lies the problem, because there's a lot about my old life that I really miss and I really love. A lot. And the hard part is having the patience to realize what is new, what's going to happen new, what new needs will I have, whether it be from a woman, from a career, so it's just like this. It feels like we're in this state of limbo now, just buying our time, okay, because we're still fighting off this dream-like past that's got no answers for us, nothing there for us, but at the same time, it's so much a part of me, right? So much a part of me. So I had to do a few things in the last few months, to sort out the best way I could. In my own way. And I had to tell myself that this is your way of fixing shit. Just roll with it. Try and set yourself some guidelines so you don't, when you come out of your manic state, you're not in a hole. You're not owing people money. Your rent's paid. Your bill's paid. You didn't break any fucking laws. But just try and ride it out. And that's exactly what we did. We rode it out, and we're ready for the next chapter, I guess, and fuck. It's getting old. It's getting real old real fast. I'm 50 years old next year. 50 fucking years old. So, maybe half my life is over. With definitely maybe 3/4 of it, maybe half of it's left. So there's not a lot of time left when you think about it. It's really hard not to have the attitude like, what a fucking waste of time the last 30 years was. But that's the trick, right? You can't be negative about that shit. That's the trick. Allowing that negative shit to creep in your mind, I tell you what I do wish, though. I wish I was this man today in 2003, 2004. Yeah. For sure. But is that the right kind of attitude to have, though? Oh, I wish I could have done this. I wish I should have done that. Regret just fucking eats you alive, right? So, whose fault? Whose fucking fault? Nah, fuck, at the end of the day, between myself, ex-wife, my family, co-workers, doctors, no one had the skills, no one had the knowledge, no one had expertise, no one had the tools, the wisdom, the experience to deal with what I was going through. What would have been the solution? Fuck it. Lock me in some fucking cage. That wouldn't have worked. I would have fought it every step of the way. Too much shit going on. I got shit to figure out. Can't be locking me up. Well, that's the way I felt about rehab. There's no way. There's no fucking way I'm gonna be able to go there. There's no fucking way. I'll fix this shit myself. But ran out of time, right? My wife ran out of time and patience. My job ran out of time and patience. Even I ran out of time and patience, right? But things are changing, though. They're slow, but they're changing. I find it really hard. I'm right where I need to be. For the most part, I'm healthy, mind and body. You know, I pay my bills, you know, don't self-destruct. Well, except for a while ago, but I'm just saying on a normal daily basis, you know, I live just pretty much normal like everybody else. Very balanced life. I don't go to work every day. You know, I'm calling sick, pay my bills. But I find, number one, it's definitely not the way I thought it'd be. I definitely don't feel the way I think I should have felt. I definitely, the better I do, the harder I work. I don't know if it's fair to say the more unhappier I am. I can understand how people say that money can't buy you happiness. Totally get that. If you don't, what's the point of having success in your life? Whether it be financially, spiritually, whatever, if you have no one to share it with. I'm not talking about friends. I'm not talking about fucking family. I'm talking about something more intimate than that, right? So I think that's where the problem lies with me. Which is very strange because, you know, the manic personality Sid of the past could rationalize loving one and loving another. It was just two separate things. You know, I could be in a relationship and have sex with somebody else, and it's completely two different things. Completely different things. I could have emotional, loving sex with this person and be involved with this person and have the same fucking feelings. You know, which is really hard to wrap your head around. I actually learned that I had the ability to do that when I was with my first wife, because our relationship kind of developed into an open relationship. I'm not going to get into it, but I quickly realized that and the dangers of that. And I'm like, oh shit, like this is interesting. But no, I wasn't bipolar back then. I was aware of the fact that really I can love two women, I can make love to two different women, you know. That was pretty fucked up. Like, yeah, for sure. But to say getting to the point is today I couldn't do that. There's no fucking way I could do that. I couldn't even. Just believe me, there's no way I could do that. That would be impossible. But I think that's why I've waited so long for the right person, you know, because that's where my head is, right? It's even if I'm manic in the relationship, I know when I'm manic now. It's very recognizable to myself, and for the most part, no matter what's going on in my life or what I'm doing, I can control my behavior in that state. The only time I seem to not to be able to control my state is in the area of love, or, you know, because there's been a few instances in the last couple months where I've tried to engage in a relationship. I tried twice, and all I can say, it was a fucking disaster. Definitely for me. But it was a good learning curve for me. It showed me, because I never fucking dated. I was always like, lived with someone for 4 years, dated someone for 2 years. I was serious. Lived with someone for 11 years and lived with someone. I never had this courtship, a dating thing, or it was just like, bam, we're living together, and you get to know the person and everything, and you just accept it in the moment. Because you're already at the end game, so there's no reason to play games or hide your feelings because you're already living together. So what's the point of going through this bullshit, right? So I have very little experience in that. So, reading a woman I'm talking to or getting involved with, or just, the manic, it just triggers right away manic behavior, and it's just, okay, let's fucking go. We're off to the fucking races. Let's go. This is what I need, this is what I want, this is, and it's just, and the manic mind doesn't realize that people are not like that. They're going to bullshit you, they're going to lie to you, they're not going to tell you how they really feel. They'll feel like that one day, but they'll change their mind the next day, and so on and so forth. The ability to foresee just what an average person is like, it was pretty fucking difficult. So there was, at the end of those two situations, and what I went through with my ex-wife, through March, through that bullshit, where I told you videos, between those kind of three instances, I've learned quite a bit. The scariest thing I learned was, okay, you have to really face the fact here, pal, that you'll be alone for the rest of your life. So what are we going to do about that? How are we going to handle that? Can you live with that? Because you won't settle, and paid sex is not on the table anymore, because that's something we quickly realized that we didn't need. We thought we needed that. We thought that was the best solution, but it wasn't. It's just come down to being honest with yourself about, okay, well, this is what's going to happen if I settle. It's going to go bad. It's going to go wrong. At least at this point, I imagine when I'm 60 or 70, my needs will change, but I still feel healthy and passionate, and, I don't want to settle, just like, I don't want any woman who's interested in me to settle. I don't have to settle for any of my bullshit, any of my bipolar bullshit, No. I feel like this is something that I should have went through like 40 years ago. I think most people go through it in their 20s and 30s. I just feel there's a big gap in something that I've missed as far as relationships with the opposite sex. I think there's a part that I completely fucking missed somewhere. I don't know whether it be the courtship or whatnot, but I think it just stems from just being manic all the time, right? And having just this one dimension, one perception, yeah, whatever, fuck. So that's a tough pill to swallow. Is telling yourself, I could be alone for the rest of my life if I choose to not settle, or I choose this. I asked my mom about that. I said, Mom, I'm fucking 72, she's been there for a long time. I'm like, what fills that void? You know, what fills that void? You know, obviously for a long time I filled that void with cocaine and prostitutes and chasing something I could never have again. You know, that one took a long time to learn, but we learned that finally. Probably 100 grand later. You know what I tell myself? Of all the money I spent foolishly, you know, whether it be drugs, sex, just typical manic behavior, whether it be buying expensive shit, stupid shit, or making some costly mistakes that cost me thousands of dollars. I try to tell myself, well, this is what I would have spent if I would have went to a psychiatrist every day for 2 hours. So that's what I try to tell myself. I try and rationalize it. Because if you do the math, it turns out to be the same thing. So as long as at the end point, this dollar amount is the same, I think we're in good shape. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself anyways. Oh, fuck. Yeah, so now we're, you know, back on track. You know, it was a ride to the weather. You know, I imagine, like, I'll be honest with you guys. There's just things about being bipolar that I definitely am not going to be able to fix. And there's things I'm going to be able to manage better than others. If I wasn't alone, things would definitely be a lot easier in that regard. For sure, because it's a different thing now, right? I view relationships differently now. You know, it'd just be a different thing. But it's yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people, that happens to a lot of people. You don't have to be bipolar for that, you know, whether it be in a relationship or something, and it's only later you realize, like, oh, fuck, you didn't realize what you had, or, you know, and whether it be, and it's always because you're distracted by something else, right? Whether it's a mental illness or you're distracted by your career, you know, maybe you're a narcissist, fuck, you know. I don't think a narcissist would look back later. You know, once you're a narcissist, you're always a narcissist, right? But anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. I just probably because that's all I've seen lately online. It's everything about narcissist shit, like people posting about narcissism and stuff. Maybe that's why that popped in my head. But anywho, yeah, it's unfortunate that whether you have a mental illness or not, you know, there's situations you look back at, you're just like, fuck, why couldn't I see that? You know, why didn't I see that? You know, why did I take that for granted? Or, you know, why didn't I, you know, that was really hard for me. Like, I didn't know why I didn't see the things, because obviously there was two of me, you know. It's not like the non-manic part of me never realized those things. I did realize those things. But my non-manic episodes were few and short between. Like that calmness in my life those windows were very short. You know, for sure. I don't think I had time to get used to them or time to miss it, or you know, what I was talking about in March, you know, and I'm not going to rehash all that, but in the video is like what I was referring to, you know, I didn't think about those things before that point, you know, as they were happening when we were together, I knew knew about those certain things, but I didn't think about any of that stuff until March. Really, it was a fucking tidal wave of shit, It was a tidal wave. It was a tidal wave. But it makes me wonder too, though, how many people out there are in relationships that they shouldn't be in, that have settled, that have lied to themselves, or are lying to themselves, or trapped, or just fuck. It's really fucking easy. It's really easy to convince yourself that, being with someone is just not worth the fucking bullshit. It is. It's so easy. There's so many fucking cons to be involved with somebody, whether you're dating them or fucking living with them, or you're fucking married with them, or having fucking kids with them. There are so many cons. The list is endless. But it's that one fucking pro that makes all the madness worth it, right? Love, passion. As long as that's there, we'll put up with fucking so much fucking shit. We'll settle for so much shit in a relationship just for that feeling. It doesn't even have to happen all the time. It could be, you could love your wife or husband like really intensely once a week, and that'd be enough. As long as it shows its face, we're all a fucking sucker for it. And that's so true, because there's so many fucking cons to being in a relationship. Like, even for myself, but I can't help it. I'm such a passionate guy. I need affection, fuck, even if I have to pay for it. But now I live in more of a non-manic life now that, I quickly realize it is what it is, and it's not what I want, right? Because it's not real. Especially when you're high, it's not real. But you go with it, you play along, you lie to yourself, right? So now you can't have that either. And forget about jerking off, right? Because what are you going to think about, right? And nothing to think about. Porn's fake. Paid sex is fake. Can't think about the relationships in your past. Because that's all fake. Maybe that's why I'm working out so hard, so I can jerk off to myself. Well, Scott, you're looking so good. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe that'll be the new thing. I'll figure out a way to fuck myself. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Tough adjustment. But it's definitely, I look at it too as it's one step closer to feeling normal, right? Because this is something that everyone goes through. You don't have to have a mental illness to feel what I feel. This is normal shit, which is good, right? Which is healthy. I'm feeling normal shit just like everybody else, right? And that should be a positive thing. That's what I tell myself anyways, right? The more we feel like we're battling the same battles as everyone else and fighting the same wars as everyone else, we're kind of know we're on the right track, right? Just turning 50 gets me so down. Not aging. I don't mind aging. I don't mind being 50. It's a time thing. Fuck, it's just how much time is left, right? Not a lot of time. Not a lot of time. As much progress as I've made, and I've made so much, It still feels like I'm in quicksand. It doesn't feel like there's any forward momentum. I mean, yeah, because things happen so slow, you know. But I know that's the way it should be, because if things happen for me too fast, that's not healthy, you know. Perfect example. If I won the fucking lottery, I'd be dead. I would have no idea what to do with $1 million. It would open up too many doors. It'd be too many options for me. I'm not ready for those amount of options. Not at all. Not at all. And what happens when you have too many options? You go back to what you know, right? You go back to what you know. And that wouldn't be good. So that's where I come up with the philosophy, right? Chase your needs, not your wants, because, well, I don't know if that'll work for everyone, but it works for me. Because as long as I don't entertain my wants, it doesn't entertain my mind, it keeps me out of fucking trouble. Right? Plus, how can you not be happy if you have everything you need? Right? There's only one thing I need, and that comes with a whole list of problems. Right? Like we just talked about. No. But it does make me feel good that, you know, even though that love, the emotion love is a serious fucking trigger for myself. At least I know I'm not the only one in that boat. You know, I'm not the only one that has a problem with that emotion. You know, and brings us one step closer to being just like you, feeling just like you, feeling fucking, at least for a little while, normal. And that's all I could really ask for, right? So see you guys again. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you all.